a teacher who became obsessed with me after I turned in a late assignment. So, this happened when I was in my junior year of college. I was taking a history class with this older professor. Let's call him Professor Thompson. He was known for being strict, but also quirky in an eccentric way. He had a reputation for being a little intense. At first, I didn't think much of it, but that was before everything spiraled. I was struggling with the class, and like most students, I occasionally turned assignments in late. One week, I turned in a paper 2 days past the deadline, and I knew Professor Thompson wasn't going to be thrilled. To my surprise, he was extremely kind about it when I handed it in. He told me he'd give me a small penalty for the late submission, but everything seemed fine. The next class, though, things started getting weird. During office hours, he insisted I come by to discuss my paper. I thought it was just to go over my grade, but when I walked in, I immediately felt uncomfortable. The walls were covered in maps, historical texts, and photos of him with various famous historical figures. It was a little creepy, but I shrugged it off, thinking maybe it was just his thing. He sat down across from me and began discussing my paper. But then, things took a strange turn. He started complimenting my writing, but in a very odd way. It was like he was too invested in every little detail. At one point, he even said, "I've never seen someone write about the Roman Empire with such passion before. You have a gift. You should be writing history books. You could be something great." I tried to laugh it off, but he was so intense that it made my skin crawl. He kept insisting I was special, even offering to help me with future assignments and even personalized guidance for my academic path. After that meeting, he started emailing me way too much. I would get multiple emails a day, some about my assignments, others were completely random, like articles he thought I might enjoy, or even history-related podcasts. At first, I was flattered, but then it got weird. A week later, after class, he asked me to stay after. He said he wanted to discuss future opportunities for me, maybe helping him with research. I agreed, but once again things took a strange turn. He began talking about how he wished more students were like me and how he could see us working together on projects in the future. I started getting the feeling that this wasn't professional anymore, and then this happened. One day I found a handwritten letter in my mailbox from him. It was long, rambling, and borderline unsettling. He wrote about how seeing my potential inspired him, and that he'd been thinking about ways to nurture my growth outside the classroom. He even mentioned that he believed I could become the next great historian with his mentorship. That was when I realized I had to get out of this situation. I was scared. I told some friends, and they advised me to report him to the department head. I didn't want to make a scene, but it was getting way too uncomfortable. After the report, the department investigated, and turns out I wasn't the only one. Several other students came forward with similar stories of him crossing boundaries, sending personal texts, lingering too long after class, and making weirdly personal comments. Eventually, he was put on probation, and I was reassured that no further action would be taken against me. I never saw him again after that semester, but every time I think back, it gives me chills. Who knew turning in a late assignment could lead to such a crazy teacher situation?